What's up? It's Susie from Hey Grill Hey, and I am bound and determined to show you that you can cook basically anything on your grill outside. Today we are making homemade dinner rolls with a beautiful honey butter. So let's do it. Let's kick things off with our rolls. These take just over an hour to make. It's a very simple dinner roll recipe. We're gonna start with our wet ingredients. I've got a cup of warm water. You wanna make sure this is about 105 to 115 degrees so your yeast becomes activated. A tablespoon of instant active dry yeast, about a quarter cup of melted butter. Set some of that aside for later. 1 egg, some honey, and some salt. Once our wet ingredients are incorporated, I'm gonna add in my flour. It takes about 2.5 to 3 cups of flour. That always depends a little bit off of how much moisture your flour is gonna take on. So start with 2.5 cups, you can add more. We want a soft dough that pulls away from the sides of the pan. Use a rubber spatula to scrape down the sides periodically while it's mixing. Once our flour is incorporated into our dough, we're ready to make it into our rolls. Now these are getting cooked in a cast iron skillet. I've got a 12-inch cast iron skillet. The remaining butter gets painted on the inside of our skillet so our rolls don't stick and so they get nice and golden brown on the outside. Next up, make our dough into individual rolls. I usually make 12 rolls out of this dough, and you can be really precise and measure here, but I'm kind of a rustic cook, so I'm just gonna eyeball it. Cover these with a dishcloth, set them somewhere warm, slightly warmer than room temperature is great, so if your oven's already on, right above your oven usually works, for 30 minutes until they have doubled in size. Now honey butter can have more than just 2 ingredients of honey and butter, and that's how I make mine. So I start with a stick of softened butter, a quarter cup of honey, and then I also add in a splash of vanilla and a really healthy pinch of flaky kosher salt. And the vanilla just gives it that little something extra where people go, oh my gosh, this is so good, what's in it? I do like to whip mine with a hand mixer. I think the consistency of a whipped butter where it's so fluffy is so nice and so lovely. So simple, we'll set that aside until our rolls are done. All right, 25 minutes into our rolls, cooking at 400 degrees, and they are golden brown and delicious. One of the reasons that I love this skillet roll recipe is that it gives me texture. So the underside of my rolls are gonna be even darker brown than the tops, and I love that. I love kind of that like crusty edged roll. So right when these come off the smoker, I will brush them with a little bit of melted butter and then a sprinkle of flaky salt. And of course we have this gorgeous homemade honey butter. Oh, see, look at the bottom. See how the bottoms where they've been on the skillet are a little bit darker than these kind of light, puffy golden brown tops. I love that contrast in flavor and texture. They pulled apart beautifully, just about an hour, and we have homemade fluffy rolls on your grill with a vanilla scented whipped honey butter. Now if that isn't a testament to the fact that you really can cook anything on your grill or smoker, I don't know what is. I gotta take a bite from this bottom piece. That is comfort food at its very finest. I would love to hear from you. If you give this recipe a try at home, let me know what you think. I love reading your reviews and your comments. And more importantly, I love sharing recipes from my backyard to yours. See you next time.